Hello, everyone. UNFPA Turkey YouTube channel is hosting you. Welcome to our live broadcast. Welcome. In fact, would like to have this event in a very big hall, just like we did years ago and up to this year, and we would look into each other's eyes and we would share the real stories in such an environment. But because of the prevailing conditions, we had to carry and migrate this important panel to the digital platform. It doesn't matter because all the speakers are young people and they are very familiar with the digital platforms, and I believe that they are very happy about being here. Today is the 5th of December and today is International Volunteers Day. This is a very meaningful day, and we're having the Activism 101 panel, and we're going to discuss very important topics today. And in fact, solutions are being offered for these important titles, and maybe this negative picture of today will be changed and improved in future, and that will be done by young people for gender equality and also for elimination of all kinds of violence against women and girls are the topics these young people are working in. And they are going to talk about the roles to be played in elimination of violence and gender equality, and they will talk about and recommend certain starting points. I know, and I'm sure that there are many things that we can learn from the young people. We're going to see and witness this one more time today, and they're going to tell us new stories. They're going to open new horizons for us. Before we start, I'd like to give you a short reminder during our live broadcast. You can also send us your questions by using the message box, and I will be happy to give and convey your questions to the speakers. Before I start with the inspiring speeches and speakers, I would like to introduce you to the speakers. Youth Organizations Forum General Coordinator Hasan Oğuzhan Aytaç is here with us. Hello, Hasan. Hello. Youth Approaches to Health Association General Coordinator Pelin Anılan. Hello, Pelin. Hello. We're all familiar with another project, Metu, Just a Girl Platform General Coordinator İlayda Işık is here. Hello, İlayda. Welcome. Thank you. Hello. 9 University Platform founding member Oktay Kılınç is among us too. Another young activist. Hello, Oktay. Hello. Everyone is young. However, there is someone who is younger and a high school student. The first gender equality club supported by UNFPA in Turkey. The president is representing it, Zeynep Dorak Kolday. Welcome. Hello. And we are really impatient to listen to you, but we also have a special important guest in Activism 101 panel today, and his contribution is precious for us, invaluable. One spokesperson from UNFPA Turkey, you already see him on the screen, and he already has the lights off the stage, off the spotlights. In fact, he sets an example for the young people, and also since May 2018, he has been the volunteer ambassadors and voice of UNFPA. Dear Edis, hello and welcome. Hello, have a nice evening, you all. I would like to first welcome you, and in fact at the beginning I highlighted certain topics: gender equality, elimination of all types of violence against women and girls. In dealing with these problems, you'd never withdrew your support from UNFPA, and in fact you helped to attract more attention to these problems, to these issues, and also to the organization, the UN agency. So I'd like to thank you, and I would like to give the microphone to you, first of all, because as I have just said, the young people are really following you very enthusiastically, and they see you as a role model. Of course, contribution to come from such a person like you is invaluable. Let me ask you the first question. What is your volunteering story? How did you get engaged in the UNFPA work? Thank you for your nice remarks. I joined UNFPA in 2018. that was said before. And since 2018, we have been working very intensively. We had a joint friend. We were just speaking, and it just came about against gender inequality. I already had a critical point of view since my university years. I really got impressed by a feminist professor I had at the university, and even watching a movie was wrong if you didn't have the correct perspective. I understood this from that professor, and I was trying to shape my perspective accordingly, even before I met UNFPA. And then the roads crossed. I really eagerly and sincerely work in this field, and I have been the spokesperson for UNFPA since 2018. It's a major topic. It's a major topic for all of us, not only for our country, but also for all the world. So where UNFPA stands, the position of UNFPA is critical and vital. I am proud of being included under their umbrella. They operate in this country since 1971. They want to create an equal world for all the young people, and they would like to give a sustainable and equal life for the individuals. Of course, there are certain goals: gender equality and elimination of violence against women. These are, I think, the major issues among all other topics. There is the concept of 16 days of activism, but in fact, every single day should be spent with this activism. In fact, I try to pay attention to this during my routine, and I also continue my life as a spokesperson of UNFPA. Maybe I also relieve my conscience, because doing nothing is a very disturbing feeling. Yeah, you put it very well, Edis. And today we wanted to give the right of speech to the young people. It is just like leaving the steering wheel to the young people. If we do this, in fact, we contribute to a more sustainable change. When there are young people in any job, then it is more permanent. It's a great investment to future. Let's hear them, because I think it's high time that we follow their solution recommendations. Yes, absolutely, I agree. Engagement of young people, their volunteering and their awareness are critical, are essential. It is not easy to reach this level, and it is not easy to be a volunteer. Within the existing system, there are people who do not have such a high level of awareness, but we cannot blame them, because the social and global order also pushing us certain phenomena. Everything starts with the young people. Everything starts with the peers. Their perspective has already improved compared to the older generations. So I feel myself very lucky. I see my peers, they are very lucky. I have to leave you. I had to join another broadcast, but I will be following you. After that, I met all these young people. They are doing beautiful things. In fact, I'm just a spokesperson, and that is nothing compared to what these people are doing. So all the fans, all the followers who are following us, please listen to them. Please watch this broadcast. When you access correct and proper information, the life will be easier. Gender equality is something more than interpersonal equality. Individual, economic, political, and in all fields of the life, it means equality. It gives you some room, some space to breathe, and it is essential for the individuals. I know that there are women and girls watching us. Today there will be very important information to be given to you regarding your rights. I would like to thank you in advance. Thank you, Edis, for coming and being a part of this. I would like to thank you very much for these important messages you gave. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. See you. Edis, thank you. You gave very critical messages, and as he said, we already had the opportunity of meeting these young people in advance, and we had the chance of listening to their stories in advance, and we know how inspiring they are, and that is why it is recommended repeatedly that people should listen to them. Let's start with the speakers. I already introduced the speakers to you, and I would like to start with one of them. İlayda Işık is from Meçe and coordinator of Just a Girl project. Hello, İlayda. Please just start by talking about yourself and then tell us about your project, Just a Girl, and tell about what you are doing in this project, and then we can go deeper about your operations. Thank you. Happily. I am İlayda Işık. I am the coordinator of Just a Girl platform. I also just graduated from Hacettepe University Law School. I am an intern lawyer. Let me briefly introduce you the Just a Girl platform. And because of gender equality, all kinds of violence, abuse, exploitation, and hatred speech are our areas. This is a social platform, and there are other female students like me in our platform. Just a Girl, in fact, is a very unfortunate, very popular saying of you're just a girl. You cannot walk in the street at night. You cannot go to engineering school. Just a girl, just a girl. We said no to this phrase. Okay, you are not just a girl. Okay, of course, you will talk about the details of your platform and project, but I am curious about your volunteering story. Okay, let's think about a girl at the age of 15 who has never been introduced to volunteering or any civil society organization. Just tell us about your story so that you can inspire that girl, of course. The volunteering concept does not have very strict steps or a method or a procedure to follow. My volunteering story was an exploration process, a discovery process. It started 2 years ago when I was still at the university in my faculty. Many peers of me will agree with me. So in today's world, young people, in fact, have this feeling. The feeling of going to action. It appeared in me when I was at the university. I started to look for, search for volunteering. In fact, it was first an internal search I had. I think that's the most important search and most important look you can have. My volunteering was free of any expectation. No expectation of interest was there in me when I volunteered. Your skills, your fields of interest, and also the areas that you are interested in. So these matter. It's important that you correctly choose the area that you would like to change. In fact, there are many things that you would like to change in the society, and all of these issues are of same importance. During my study, there was a huge sensitivity against gender equality in me, and I tried my chance before different organizations and institutions. Let me give you a warning. The initial stages of volunteering is a self-discovery process. You discover yourself. Sometimes you have expectations related to being in a certain place, and most of those expectations are not fulfilled. Please don't get disappointed. That shouldn't be your approach anyway at the very beginning. So it was a lesson each and every time. I didn't want to do any standardized work. I just wanted to pioneer different ideas. This is what I discovered in myself. After one point, I noticed that I had some legal knowledge, and probably there would be a way to make the most efficient use of it. When I was trying to eliminate gender inequality, and law is about sometimes may be about a reaction. And I didn't have the opportunity of working with such an organization before. And legal protection mechanisms have a changing power on the community, but there are not many projects that directly use this power. In fact, with the Just a Girl platform, I discovered these concepts. I saw their advertisement in a paper. They were aiming at social change, and they were talking about the origin of change. They wanted to spark a flame, and it was so important to me. I discovered that during the undergraduate study. Nobody talks about the law number 6284, Istanbul Convention, etc. And we got support from experts, and we were taught about this legislative instruments. And for the first time in Turkey, we had a set up hearing project regarding violence against women. And also we showed the right to defense, the ethical framework of exercise of this right. And we proved to women that they could really defend their rights. And it was just a setup, a mock-up, and it showed a lot of things to women. Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, it's Just a Girl project, and I know that your project is using a lot of new media opportunities. This is a pandemic we are going through. Look at the panel we're having today. Almost all projects are making a transition to the digital. What about your digital projects and your digital operations? Yes. That's a nice question. In fact, Just a Girl is a social media platform. This is how we define ourselves. The most effective way of accessing and reaching out mass groups is social media. We're aware of this fact. In all our campaigns, we use new techniques, new media opportunities. Let me give you an example. Maybe our biggest project was the Digital Clothes project, and it was just on Facebook. 16 million people accessed us in to 72 provinces. We had more than 1,000 campaign volunteers, and we operated in 500 locations in just 2 weeks at graded system. The proper advertising system was used. We started with 10 people. Can you imagine? We found the open addresses of many locations around Turkey, and we helped them to see us when they logged into Facebook. And that was one opportunity we used on social media. The pandemic was going on. Everyone was forced into digital activism. Just a Girl platform was enjoying modern activism, digital activism from the very first day. And in fact, we see that civil society is in fact getting free of conventional and traditional methods, and civil society need young people to do this, because that's an important point. There is the reality of violence against women, and the young people do not want to listen to conferences about this topic which take hours and hours. We just want to go into action. So we wanted to touch upon as many lives as we can. The spirit of activism is fed by one reality. It's about sharing and multiplying the activism. This is what our platform believes in, and we invite everyone to be a part of our platform. In fact, with your presence, with your support, we can be strong. I'd like to thank the organizers for making our voice heard. Thank you. Elida, thank you very much. These were very precious messages when I started. In fact, I didn't know the details of your project, but when I look at your age, when I look at your successes so far, I was ready to see you as inspiring speakers, and now you prove that was true. Thank you for the messages. And now it is time to talk about the solution proposals, not the problems only. This is how we can change the picture. Thank you once again a lot. Another general coordinator, Pelin Anılan, Youth Approaches to Health. Hello, how are you? Thank you, I'm fine. And how are you? Thank you, I'm very excited.
I am very excited to be with you on this panel. So I'm very happy to have the chance to listen to these stories face to face. Now let's talk about the association and the deeds of association. But I do know that because we discussed together before, especially you. So in terms of the sexual health of young women and in terms of enjoying rights and in terms of making them enjoy their rights, you're working. And of course, you can talk about the general aim of the association and the projects that you're interested in. But I would like to also ask you a question because I'm very interested because in the previous years, maybe hundreds of young women you may have talked and you may have the chance to talk to them and you may have witnessed their stories. What are they experiencing? I think you will give us very remarkable insights and along with the aim of the association, can they reach the services that they need? And as we wrapped up with Elida, what is your recommendation for solution? Then first I can maybe introduce our association. Youth Approaches to Health Association was established in 2014, and in 2015 it became a legal person. And as a team composed of just youth for the needs of youth, in terms of sexual health and sexual health rights, we are exerting our efforts and carrying out activities. So here we can see that youth may have different and diverse needs. So for that reason, for access to services, and for advocacy, we are working, and we are working with a right-based manner. And I can first talk about my story to kick off. Because when I was in this field for the first time 7 years ago, I was walking in the street and a group of youth stopped me and asked, do you know HIV and AIDS? I was frozen and people were passing around me and my peers were asking me HIV, AIDS and the importance of condoms. So can we talk about this? I thought. And then I noticed that when I met my peers in the field, those individual needs may become very common. And our needs and our requests, demands for rights made us come together. I have seen this. And yes, there are some drawbacks in terms of accessing services and in terms of reaching the right information in terms of sexual rights and sexual health. And in terms of formal education, there is no constructed or structured sexual health education, and even we are, for example, hesitant to go to doctor for such purposes. And for example, we are asking our friends to accompany us when we go to the gynecologist, for example. So I came across with very diverse needs. And in this process, I have seen that we need to be away from discrimination. We have to be inclusive. And for the needs of the youth, we need to access information. I have seen this. And in the field, very basically, and in the basis of these rights violations, there are drawbacks in terms of reaching the right information. So here, I would like to talk about the things that are keeping us in the field, because I don't want to talk about the negative things all the time. Approximately for 7 years, I am in the field, and as an institution organization, we are providing TOTs and trainings, and these trainings are in different provinces for different youth groups and for different needs and with different purposes. And in the end of all trainings, we are told that we are very happy to have you here because I couldn't reach this information before. I didn't have the opportunity to ask this question before youth told us. And as a team, what keeps us in the field? So the answer to this is diverse. So a young person, for example, when they're exposed to discrimination, what kind of mechanisms they can use and to advocate their rights and to meet their needs. And when they're exposed to a violation of their rights, they have to be in a position to tell this, and especially young women. In terms of gender-based violence, for example, where it is stemming from, what is violence? So in what situations, which mechanism they can apply, and knowing this and being a part of this. So there are many roots of motivation, cause of motivation for us, and we are exerting our activities, carrying our activities as a result of all these motives. It is very valuable to share these motivations also, because in the field that you are working, reaching information is very valuable. We are not talking about just our periphery. We are talking about Turkey in general, and then we can understand what important need is this. Maybe we can open a parenthesis for education here, because in the educational lives of our children, when they start their education, this has to be a part of their lives, I think, because when you talk about this shaped in my mind. Yes, definitely, we need to open a parenthesis for education, because as I said before, a comprehensive, structured, and a sexual health education according to age, this doesn't exist. Then we may be in situations which may trouble us when we do not know this, because we do not know the risks or what we may come across when and in what situations, which service we can get and what information we can get from where. So when we do lack of information, when we do lack of access to information, this is risk on its own. So for that reason, access to education, comprehensive, structured, and age and gender-friendly education, and we need to be sure that no youth is left behind. So for example, sexual orientation, sexual identities, disabilities, irregardless of all these, everybody should make use of these rights. So this system, we need to go through or progress with such a system. So this is why we are working. Okay, thank you very much, Pelin. In the beginning of your speech, you said that 7 years ago, so my peers asked me questions about HIV and AIDS, and I thought, can we talk about this? Maybe your peers or the other young people watching us at the moment, because on UNFPA's YouTube channel, this could be watched later. And young people, for example, when they watch this, I think you will be also inspiring some young people watching us and who will watch us. Thank you very much. Maybe from here to my peers and to the youth, I can say something. As the youth, when we speak up together, we can advocate more. And for that reason, we are planning a digital youth festival, and it started, and there we are talking about our demands for rights, and maybe they can join there and they can also talk about their rights. Thank you very much. So can they reach information from your social media account? Yes, from GoForm and also from Youth Approaches to Health Association social media accounts, they can reach this information. And when there's a question, I will get back to you, but now we will be proceeding with another panelist. So from 9 Eylül University Platform Up founding member, Oktay Kılınç is with us. Oktay, hello, Orange suits you a lot. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Are you okay? How are you? Yes, fine. How are you? Yes, very good. I'm still very excited. I'm very happy. And I am very happy to be a part of this platform. So when handing it over to you, please first introduce yourself. So please talk about Platform Up. What are you doing? And to what extent the university is related with this, or to what extent you are taking some individual steps. Of course, my name is Oktay from 9 Eylül University Public Administration Department, and I am the founding member of Platform Up. And Platform Up is carrying out some awareness raising activities for women and girls to end violence. And we do not have any chairpersons, deputy chairs, commission members, or organizational structure. We just have our volunteering ideas. So in 2016, Meltem, Fatma Gül, Barış, Sibel, Yavuz, Merve established this together. But I will not be talking about this story today, but I will be telling you a story of awareness. First, I become aware, and then my schoolmates, and then all my faculty, all my university. Then we expand our network. For example, in construction of this network, Zeliha Ünal'dı from UN Women and Meltem Ağduk UNFPA from UNFPA helped us a lot. We didn't know a lot about this before them. Yes, we were aware, but they supported us. And also Dora is with us here today. I met her during Orange Summit, but I met her in Orange Summit. So what is Orange Summit? Orange Summit, for the first time in the year 2016, it was organized in Ankara by UN, and then in the following years, it was carried out in Istanbul, in İzmir, 9 Eylül University, Business Administration Department. So we are trying to come together in terms of awareness raising activities to end violence against women and girls and for their empowerment. And we're trying to act together, move together. So this is our aim. So this Orange Summit is not just limited to Turkey, and we have participants from all over Turkey. For example, last year, we had participants from ODTÜ, Just a Girl platform, Bilkent University, Radio Bilkent, and also Koç University. So the dates of 25th of November and to 10th of December, we have activities for this Orange Week, and 10th of December is Orange Summit for us. So are you going on with the support of the university? Indeed, our faculty, our department is helping us a lot, because our faculty for the first time in Turkey made a gender equality class mandatory. And after 4 years, you raise your awareness and this becomes your value. And with my mentors, for example, I went to an education camp in Lithuania, and there many people came together and they share their experiences and methods, and by this way they established stable partnerships and international projects. So we are trying to raise awareness in everyone. We think that raising awareness is very important. And also there's another dimension of volunteering, which is being a volunteer and being a good person is something that we can learn. And Meltem is an example of this. She is not bringing the youth together in a platform, but also she brought many NGOs to our faculty to establish strong cooperation networks. So you may be a graduate one day, but your volunteering will continue. So in our adventure of volunteering, we are witnessing the miracles that can be created by the youth. So when you work with small age teams, you can be stronger. So for that reason, we attach importance to work with high schools and also primary schools and secondary schools. And we do have a video also for this. I think this will be added to our messages. Please be aware, please work, please change, and see you. Thank you very much. Oktay, thank you very much. You're very lucky because you had such mentors in your life. But I hope that with the efforts of such young people like you, the activities and efforts in this field will widen. And you said that I was a volunteer at university, but the age just maybe smaller, you said. And now we have a high school student with us. Dora is with us. And She is the club president of gender equality at a high school, which is supported by UN.
It's invaluable that you are here, Dora. Maybe I'm so ignorant, I don't know, but when you talk about volunteering, you always expect to see someone at university ages. So maybe this is something that we have never thought about in a profound way. We should think about participation and engagement. Maybe younger ages bring about more permanent solutions. So on my behalf, I would like to thank you for being an individual with such high level of awareness. You can really inspire young people, young individuals with your story. I would like to give the floor to you now. Please tell us about your volunteering adventure. How did you decide to become a volunteer? And what could you do in terms of change? Hello. Hello, my name is Zeynep Dora Kalday. I study in the fourth grade of Anatolian High School, Izmir Bahçeşehir Private School. And in 2017, I started the first gender equality club in my school. That is the first club supported by the UN in Turkey at high level. I'm still the president of my club. In fact, my story started at home because my mom used to make awareness campaigns with her students at university regarding violence against women and girls. And I knew that there were girls and young women who were victimized by violence, who were made to marry at such a young age. First, I started telling about this to my friends. I wanted to do something more, and I didn't want to wait until my university years. This is how I got the initiative. I noticed that we do not take the steps before the problems emerge, just like we wait for the earthquake in order to take some retrofitting measures regarding the buildings. So first, we have to block the way of violence. So it doesn't matter what your age is, it's important that you have awareness. In one meeting, I met Meltem Ağduk from UNFPA. I told her that I wanted to start a club, just like University Club. And Zeliha Ünal'dı from UN Women. She also helped me for our activities and dissemination of our activities, starting from the kindergarten. At every level in our school, we wanted to raise awareness. And for the last 4 years, we invite women who make a change, and also men who support our cause. And also we invite the public school pupils to our school whenever we have an event, so we can share this information. During 4 years, we reached out tens and thousands of schools. We showed them that if we want, we can succeed. We have the Orange Week from the 25th of November until the 10th of December. During that week, we have the main activities, and we have charity sales, and we donate the income to association, and we play games with children at the primary school age, and we have orange billboards and banners all around the house. We have information cards. We have systemic and continuous flow of information. We also work on our manifesto during the Orange activities. We collaborate with the Business School of Izmir University. And on the 10th of December, our manifest is read out in the Orange Summit. So we're all from different ages, but we have common problems. We say that everyone has a say about gender inequality. And we also collaborate with the NGOs. We had a photography exhibition in our school, and we collaborated with the Izmir Businesswomen Association for this. And we show the pictures, and we said that, okay, there is not a male job and female job. And we noticed that even in the kindergarten, now there are kids, there are girls who want to be a pilot, firefighter. I visited the Izmir Business Women's Association, and also I visited the Women's Commission in the Parliament. I reached out some deputies of the Parliament. I tell them about our club. I believe in every high school there will be a gender equality club one day, because all the reactions I got were very positive. Also, last year I attended the International Gender Equality Conference in the Eastern Mediterranean University. I was the only high school student there. I just wanted to show our activities. The academics listened to me very attentively. I'm graduating from high school this year. I would like to study business administration, but no matter what job I will get, I will work for empowering women economically. If there is no economic empowerment of women, there is no freedom, and then you cannot eliminate violence. Gender equality is not a women issue. It is affecting the whole globe, just like the climate crisis. Everyone should give its support. I would like to thank our principal, Aylin Gil, my parents, and the UN agencies for their support. Thank you. I would like to thank you, Dora. That was a nice speech. I agree with you. I share your wish. I think our wishes will come true, not in far future. One day in every high school, there will be a gender equality club. All the young people should be able to question this topic and exchange views. This is not a women problem. I agree with you. This is a general problem, common problem for this country. If we are looking for ways of solution, then we should give the word to the women, to the men, and everyone. Thank you. I will come back to you, but now I'd like to give the floor to another friend. He has been waiting long enough, Hasan Oğuzhan Aytaç, Youth Organizations Forum General Coordinator. Hasan Oğuzhan, hello, I'm okay. I've been a listener, so it has become more enjoyable for me. Yes, I was listening, Dora, very attentively too. You have listened to all the speakers. So we're coming to the end of our time. And also with you, I would like to wrap up this session if possible. So there are some young people who do not know where to start. Maybe their ways never crossed with a volunteer. How can the young people start this journey? Just tell us about yourself, your platform, what you are doing. Tell us about Go4. And also tell us about what can be the added value in the life of a fresh volunteer. Yes, of course, I'll be happy to talk about this. And very quickly, I will talk about myself and my organization. And then I will talk about what is happening to a volunteer at the end of the day, especially within the 16 days of activism. Can I contribute to gender equality just being a volunteer? Let's talk about them. Hello, my name is Hasan Oğuzhan. So Go4 is my platform, Youth Organizations Forum. I am responsible for our work as a general coordinator. What do we do? In fact, this is some kind of resistance. In Turkey, there is no comprehensive youth policy, and this is the gap that we are trying to fill in. 25 organizations came together, they merged, and they said that Turkey needs a comprehensive youth policy, and they created a network, and the name of the network is Youth Organizations Forum. 62 youth organizations all around Turkey are represented. This is an umbrella organization, Youth Organizations Forum, and due to its existence, it is working for a comprehensive youth policy in Turkey, and also the member organizations are operating in all cities, districts, towns, and neighborhoods. And the forum is also strengthening and empowering the member organizations so that they can act in their localities, sometimes with training, sometimes with funds. We try to empower the member organizations. And also we have the international representation. European Youth Forum is represented in Turkey by Youth Organizations Forum. The Council of Europe and the European Parliament recognizes this forum as the top level forum regarding youth policies. And Turkey is represented. And what does that mean? The youth of Turkey, their policies, their agenda, their claims are moved to the Europe. So Turkey is a founding member of the Council of Europe, and all these policies, in fact, are of our interest. There are 17 million young people here, and in Europe, they don't hear our voice. That's a loss. That's a bitter loss. When it's about policymaking in Europe, our youth organizations forum fill in this gap. This is what we do, in short. Today, International Volunteer Day. Happy International Volunteer Day, by the way. So this is not experimental. This is mostly informative. So let me describe what volunteering is. There are two mainstream volunteers. One is volunteering as a goal, and the other one is volunteering as an instrument. If it is for a goal, as you know, in Turkey, the civil society in Turkey has restricted access to resources. So the resources are restricted. However, there's too much on everyone's plate. So it means that all the organizations need extra human resources, and the needs of the organization, needs of the field, and also the skills of the organization and the volunteer are mapped. And by this way, the individual experiences the problems in the field, and also the individual gains awareness on a certain theme. And then you contribute to the solution of a problem, and you become an active citizen. And civil society is supported. So this is some kind of charity. This is a support that you offer to the civil society. This is not a monetary donation, but you donate your effort. And that effort can be used for something then the organization doesn't have to buy, for example, that human power. And also there are some organizations which use the volunteers as or volunteering as an instrument. Here it is a longer process. It's a long learning process. So the individuals are exposed to different themes, just like fundamental human rights, gender equality, peace, and then as a behavioral change occurs. You see this in youth studies, and youth organizations use this as a method. What happens in this model? The individual goes into an organization, and that individual experiences teamwork, and solidarity practices are learned. This is citizen solidarity. And with the mobility, very common mobility projects, differences are seen and learned. So two unsimilars come together, and for example, one individual from a different social group, someone from other neighborhood, someone who you've never known, you come together. First you conflict with that individual, and then your judgments and your prejudices change. You try to struggle with that discrimination. You activate yourself internally. Every organization has its own values. This is a long-term volunteering, and the organization values become the personal values. And this type of volunteering, it triggers behavioral change and attitude change in the individual. So in terms of gender equality, we can say the following. Gender equality is something that you learn. Since your birth, culturally and socially, you get exposed to inequality, and inequality becomes your behavioral practice. So gender equality is learned. It means that gender equality can be learned, and gender inequality is learned at the very first instance. So the life is flowing, time is running, and it's very difficult to find a correct platform to learn about correct practices. That can be your mission. In individual mission, you can read, you can watch digital videos, but you also have to expose yourself to the correct attitude. Let me give you a quick picture. A young person starts high school. Let's look at the life cycle for this student. What is the learning media? The curricula. There is no gender equality in the curricula. Okay, what are the other chances? Teachers. They are the source of information. They are a model. They are role models. And before I came here, I checked the MONE data. Only 5.3% of school principals are women. So there is no model to look for here in terms of gender equality. What about student clubs? There are some examples, for example, Dora's club. There are very bright examples. We have to highlight them. However, especially in public schools, for a student to start a student club, it's all up to the principal's initiative. And then the high school students, they go to the university. Again, there is no gender content in the courses, classes, just social sciences. And then the student clubs. And however, there is restriction against freedom of organizing. If there is a club about the disabled, then if you want to start another club about the disability again, they say, no, you cannot do it. Even if you say that, okay, I want to do something different for the same target audience, they say, no, it doesn't matter. And also, there are student councils at universities, but they are dominated by male academicians. 68% of them are male. University presidents, they're also mostly men. Only 9.1% of university chancellors presidents are women. And when you start your working life, then there is unequal pay, mobbing, and it's a challenging life. Sorry, Hassan, sorry for interrupting. I think this is what you are trying to say. It doesn't matter wherever you look, you will see the same picture. This is what you want to say. So you can give many, many examples. So I'm a woman, I'm working woman. I can also give some personal examples. Even or any other young peer can share one section of her life. Edis can give you similar examples. So the picture is always same or similar. So that's why your contribution is very important. Your contribution as a man is important. And let's attract the attention of young people to what you are doing. Okay, we created the current picture. This is what we could do. And the next generation will be able to change the picture. Don't you think so?
I do agree with you. So the pioneer of the change, I don't know, it can be this generation or next generation. We cannot guess it at the moment. But I can say that youth, in terms of gender inequality, their perception is better. So researchers show this. And now we're talking about the youth. So this volunteering, the story of volunteering in terms of instrumental volunteering, indeed, the main story is the participation of the youth. So in the participation of the youth, what should we talk about? So I will be referring to an anecdote. So you may know Foucault. So he is a social scientists, and he asks why people mobilize. And there are three reasons to that. One is, so whatever happens, we are all citizens, he says. So whatever passport we have in our pockets, we are all the ones who are being managed, and mobilizing is an example of being a citizen. And whatever, independent of the political parties, any political party being in power, they claim to make their people happy. So when citizens are unhappy, they can again mobilize. And the third one is, so we are frequently given a task sharing as citizens, so we may reject it and we may mobilize, take action. So these three reasons marks the participation of people into decision-making mechanisms. But for youth and for women, their participation is very limited. So political participation, for example, so one of its common tools is political parties. So look at political parties. You see women's branch and youth branch. So we have to ask this question, why don't we have men branch? Why don't we have adults branch in political parties? Because in political parties are managed by adult men. And youth and women are consolidated in those branches, and they are told, please do not intervene. We're managing, please play there. So this is the way of telling this by political parties. And its reflection to the parliament is, for example, the rate of young deputies is just 1.3%, and the rate of women deputies is 17%. So what does it mean? What does these rates tell us? So this means that women and youth are not participating in decision-making mechanisms, and volunteering and being a part of a civil society mechanisms is a struggle of existence. It is to say that I exist. So volunteering, they are deciding for themselves. Women and youth are deciding for themselves. They are the safe sites for them, and representing our own existence, and to be a part of decision-making mechanisms, but of course to be based on human resources. Volunteering is an opportunity for us. So this panel and the formation of this panel, for example, we have youth here. It is not a coincidence. In all policies, in mainstream media, youth is seen as an object of future or tomorrow's. But in this panel, youth are not talking about future. They are talking about today. So we are not the object of tomorrow, but today. And this is the way of telling this. And as a youth, as a young person, it is very meaningful for me to say this. And it is very meaningful to stand side by side with the youth. And volunteering caused this in my life. And in my perception, this caused this in the lives of the other people. Please use this opportunity. Make use of this opportunity. Thank you very much, Hasan Oğuzhan. Your message is very valuable. So you named it as an opportunity, volunteering. And it was a summary what we are talking about today. Thank you very much for the valuable information you have given. In the beginning, I said that we were going to receive questions. Indeed, generally, people wonder something mostly. If I was a follower or if I was watching this panel, I would be also thinking about this. And firstly, I would like to hand it over to Elida. Elida, hello once again. So in between, for a couple of times, I tried to draw your attention to this because I am taking my own education life into consideration, and I didn't see volunteering there. And as mentioned by Hasan Oğuzhan, it is not in the curriculum. And because I haven't seen any mentor teachers, this can be a cause. But generally, this is the case. And amongst our followers, people may have heard these issues for the first time. So I'm curious about your recommendations to the youth, for the ones who do not know from where to start, and for the ones who do not know about all these. What is your recommendation? Thank you very much for your question, first of all. As I said in my speech, for my volunteering is an exploration process, and we shouldn't be hectic here. Yes, of course, youth activism is very important, but volunteering doesn't have an age. And also, it is an opportunity that we may miss. So we shouldn't be afraid of exploring. First of all, I would like to emphasize this. As I said before, because of the impact of my department at university, I noticed it earlier, but maybe there were many fields that I can work in, and I haven't ended my exploration process yet. So you young people shouldn't be afraid of trying, exploring, and they can work in different fields. Volunteering experience is based on working in different fields and experiencing, gaining experience. And my first recommendation can be this. And as I mentioned before, field of interest and abilities are very important here. When you enter a platform, somehow you can understand from which part you can be beneficial more, and then it will facilitate their process. Thank you very much, Elida. In your first round, you also underlined it. We may underline it again. All the issues are equally important, and we cannot make a discrimination as early or being young. Of course, in some fields, people may find themselves, but contributing more is very important. So finding this chance is very important. I would like to underline this because you are all walking in different routes, and our followers now watching us might be interested in some other titles, and I think your answers to the same problem are very important. So you said that you are coordinating an association for 7 years, Pelin. And what is your recommendation to a young person? It's not a recommendation, but I may say, or I may underline that whatever happens, this process or violation of rights or our requests, needs, they might be individual, but there are also some common parts of it, and we have to advocate. We have to be in the decision making mechanisms, and there has to be adult young cooperation for this, but there has to be equal positions. So as a subject, we need to be in all parts of the process, and for all the solutions, we need to tell our needs as young people. Whatever happens, our sayings, our discourse are very valuable, and if we do not demand, we cannot acquire them. So we need to acquire, we need to demand together, we need to advocate together. So together, stronger. This is the motto of this panel again. Thank you very much for all your efforts. Oktay, I would like to give the floor to you now because Hasan Oğuzhan told about it, underlined the curriculum at schools, and we do not have these issues in our curricula, and educators having the role of being a mentor or not. But in your case, this is more positive. You are an exception, and you thanked your mentor and your professor for giving you the opportunity because you are supported and you were aware, you had the information. And in another university, in another department of university, to a student who didn't have this chance, what is your recommendation? Thank you very much for this question. I will be short. As compared to many people, I was luckier. And yes, we are trying to do this to make the other ones lucky too. So they can be volunteers by working in their universities, clubs, so they can explore themselves more. Yes, I may look lucky, but I think if we can come together, if we can be us, then we can do very good things. Thank you very much, Oktay. This is very valuable. Your message is very valuable. Coming together and having a stronger voice is very important. Thank you very much. And you inspired many young people by saying all these. And I hope that you will be. Dora, let's continue with you. So you are the youngest one. I think I'm not, I am the only person who's not young in this panel. Thank you for making me a part of this panel. So in your age group, they do not have examples in their field. So for that reason, they do not have the sufficient knowledge. So I would like to ask this to you, because you talked about your personal journey and you talked about your experience, but your recommendations, I think, will be very valuable. For example, now you will be graduating from high school, and after you, the ones coming after you, or for the ones in the secondary schools, what do you recommend? So from whatever you are, whatever disturbs you can be an area of work. So we have the power to change within us. Just we need to be brave, and I can just say that they need to be brave. Thank you very much. You're wonderful. Yes, we'll be brave, we'll act together, we'll be heard together. Hasano-san, I will get back to you once again. And from you, we watched the picture very well, because you gave us the big picture generally. So we talked about solutions. And the same question to you again, because you do have a high level of awareness. And when you hit the road back in the time, it was the case too. But for a person who didn't know about all these, what is your recommendation? So I'm working on youth rights. This is my expertise. And I'm in this panel as a young person. Indeed, I am working for my own rights. So we shouldn't quit doing something for us. And yes, women rights struggle taught us something. Rights are not given, they are taken. And nobody will give us our youth rights. Okay, get it, you're right. If we struggle, we will get it. So we need to continue our struggle as youth, and we need to do this as a subject of this struggle, because adults will say, let's ask this to the youth. Yes, when they ask, we can answer, but we need to do what we know for us. So I felt that you are now in a direction wheel. Thank you very much. Now we're coming to the end of our panel. If you would like to add something, please stop me, but I would like to give you some quick tips. So UNFPA Turkey, on UNFPA Turkey YouTube channel, this panel will stay, and I think people will watch this again later, and they will be inspired by your speeches and by your deeds and experiences. Thanks to you, we will see better days. And after listening to you, I have once again noticed that there are a lot to learn from young people. So we're all talking about gender equality and violence against women, girls, and we say that we are against all kinds of violence and we dream a world free of all these. But on my own, I have noticed that to realize this dream world of us, we need to come up with realistic solution recommendations. And also, again, in education lives, from the very beginning, we need to raise students with these values. So we need such people. So for that reason, your messages are very valuable. Thank you very much once again. Would you like to add something lastly, because I will be concluding? Okay, there is none. Thank you very much. Especially for myself, I would like to extend my thanks to UNFPA Turkey, because this Seek for a Solution, I was a part of this panel to seek for solutions, and thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for allocating time to watch us. Loves and good evening, and stay healthy, I say. Goodbye.